welcome back to my channel. I'm Lena, this is Lena's Bookshelf, and this is the start of my Upside Down Readathon vlog. I'm still half asleep right now, so I'm gonna go over all the details and the hosts and everything here in a little bit, but I wanted to get some coffee in me, and I'm using my owl pumpkin mug for the first time this season, even though in Virginia it's still hot, and I'm actually going to the beach at the end of this week for a couple of days. So it doesn't feel like fall yet, but I'm trying to manifest some of the fall vibes, and then we'll go back into summer for a couple days, but then when I come back from the beach, it's gonna be like full on fall. So the first book I'm going to read this week for this readathon is The Dancing Girls by M.M. Chouinard. And I've never actually heard anybody talk about this book. Also, don't mind my nails. They're horrendous and they really need to be done. It's been a whole thing on not being able to get an appointment. Anyways, this is a book about a detective, and I'm usually not a fan of detective thrillers, but the synopsis just sounded so good because this is about a serial killer. Once he murders his victims, he puts their bodies in ballerina poses. And as a ballet dancer and a dance teacher, that is super interesting to me. So I read that and was like, oh, sold. I think I got this at a used bookstore for like $2. So, but it fits perfectly because there's a light there coming from the door. So I'm using that for the prompt of a book with a light on the cover. I also am currently watching Stranger Things. Oh, here's Augie. I'm currently watching Stranger Things. I'm on season 3. So we'll see if I can finish this series this week as well as reading books. We'll see. I think I might be getting a little bit too ahead of myself, but we don't really have too much going on this week. Basically, just today is Labor Day, so I'm not technically working, but like I'm still gonna work a little bit, you know, because that whole work-life balance thing. Work-life balance? I don't know her. Who's that? And then getting ready for my beach vacation. So yeah, just gonna be a chill week. In addition to reading these books for this readathon, I also am a team leader for a Jeopardy game hosted by the Facebook book club that I'm a part of. So who knows what I might be reading for prompts for that. Oh my goodness, the dog is all over the place this morning. So I am going to sit here, drink my coffee, and start on this book.
I woke up in the middle of the night. And I wondered how you're always right. It gets me. I couldn't see but you showed me how to believe. Still gets me. When I look back, I can see you're hiding, waiting for a moment to step in. And I'll never understand how you saw it coming. Oh, but I will love you for it all. Yeah, I will love you for it all. It is hard to share my thoughts. Ooh, na, na, na.
Okay, so this is the aftermath of doing my photo prompt for today. So the only waffles that I had were these Kodiak protein waffles with chocolate chips. So yes, I'm eating them and I couldn't finish them.
My thoughts. Ooh, na, na, na. It's like cutting a wound in a bleeding heart. It gets me. But I know that you need it all. Ooh, na, na, na. Just give me some time, 'cause I need to know that you're staying. Ooh. When I look back, I can see you're hiding, waiting for a moment to step in. And
So we just ate some dinner and I opened a bottle of 19 Crimes Snoop Dogg wine there. If you know, you know. It's like one of the best wines out there. But I wanted to update you on The Dancing Girls by M.M. Schunard. So I am, let's see, what page am I on? Can't see. I'm on page 101 and I'm in part 2 of the book. So part 1 was about Janine, and Janine was found murdered in her hotel room with her body in the pose of a ballet dancer. And so you're following Detective Jo, and Jo, she is trying to figure out who murdered Janine. So she goes to Janine's hometown, talks to her husband and her niece and things like that, and gets a couple of leads. And then it just stops and it goes to a different point of view. And so now we're following the point of view of, I think her name is like Emma or Emily. Emily. And Emily is a teacher who is, I'm guessing, going to be the serial killer's next victim. We know things about him. We know why he murders women. He knows his MO. We know how he finds his victims, and it's pretty creepy. So yeah, so far I am enjoying it. I also started reading Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover today while I was at work, because I'm reading that one for the multiple POVs prompt. And gosh, you guys, it is so cringy. It is so hard to get through, and it is so cringy. I kind of want to DNF it and just swear off Colleen Hoover forever. But I listened to a lot of it on audio today since I was at work. And oof, I don't know. It's about, well, it's a romance. Like, aren't they all the same? Oh, don't come for me. Don't come for me. So you're following a boy and a girl. The girl lives with brother, falls in love with brother's friend. Brother is emotionally damaged because this girl hurt him years ago, and we're still learning why. It's just cringy, and the things they say are cringy. Ugh, I've read romance books that are way better. Anyways, I'm gonna keep editing and keep listening until time for reading sprints, and then probably go back to The Dancing Girls for the reading sprints. Happy readathon day 3. So I just finished working. I worked from home today and I took a shower and I am about to start on dinner, but I wanted to give you a reading update. So last night on reading sprints with Jessie, I made it to page 183 of The Dancing Girls, and I'm still enjoying it. I don't want to say too much, but basically we now know a lot about the serial killer. We learned a lot more about his MO and his past, why he is the way he is, and I love that in my thrillers. And we know a lot about how Detective Jo is going to try to find him. She now is looking at multiple murders of females and trying to see which ones link up to see if she truly has a serial killer on her hands, which she does. She just needs to prove that. So yeah, I'm still enjoying it, and but I don't have the audio version, so I'm having to read it physically. So I continued to read Ugly Love today on audio while I was working during my breaks and stuff, and so I finished it. It was pretty short, quick, easy romance, and I was pleasantly surprised by this. I don't think I gave a very good synopsis of it last night. So you have Tate, and Tate moves in with her brother for a short time, and her brother is a pilot, and his pilot friend lives across the hall. So Tate and Miles kind of strike up a little crush, but Tate and Miles are convinced that they don't want it to be anything more than just physical, because Miles says he's incapable of love, he refuses to fall in love, all of those things. So it's a pretty typical friends with benefits type of scenario, which we all know how that turns out, right? So things I liked about this book: it was relatable, it was realistic. The reason that Miles is hesitant to fall for Tate is very sad. It's pretty heartbreaking. Things that I didn't like about this book was very cringy. The adult relationship parts were pretty cringy. I also didn't like the point of view from Miles. I felt like he was written, and I understand that his POV a lot of the time is when he's 18, but write him like an 18-year-old boy. Don't write him like a 10-year-old boy. It was like I was reading a 10-year-old's diary. It was like, I love Rachel. Rachel loves me. Rachel looks at me. Rachel smiles. And what was the other thing? I felt like the beginning moved really slowly. It moved really slowly, and we didn't get enough of the backstory for it to move that slowly. It would be one thing if Colleen Hoover was building the scene and giving us all the backstory, but I just felt like it dragged on and on and on until I figured stuff out. But overall, it was definitely better than the other Colleen Hoover romances I've read. I definitely prefer Verity and Layla over most of her thrillers that I've read, but this one, if I had to rank it, I would rank it, if I had to rank all of her books that I have read, I would rank them: Layla, November 9, Verity, this one, It Ends With Us, Regretting You. That's how I would rank them. Those are my thoughts on that. Once I finish The Dancing Girls, I'm going to pick up Daisy Darker. I started a couple of pages of this like last week, but I don't remember anything, honestly, so I need to go back and read up on the synopsis and just completely start it over. I'm using this for the prompt of a psychological thriller because 20 people on Goodreads said it was a psychological thriller, and Jessie from Reading with Jess is reading this as a psychological thriller, so we're gonna go with it, okay? And then after that, I don't know, because I'm going to the beach, so I'm not sure which books I'm going to take with me to the beach. I need to look back at the prompts too. But I just filmed my photo prompt for reading Upside Down. And then I think I took my picture for the Instagram prompt for tomorrow, which is the Vecna Savior song. But I'm still on season 3 of Stranger Things, so I'm not entirely sure if I did it right. So I think I'll wait until people start posting and then see if mine is what I thought it was. But tonight I think we're making chicken. I don't know what we're doing to the chicken. I just know that I thawed chicken. And then I have one more day of work tomorrow, and then I teach dance on Thursday, and then it is beach time. I can't believe we're already 3 days into this readathon. That is so crazy. I watched everybody's day 1 and 2 vlogs today. I hadn't had a chance to watch a lot of them, but I went back and I got myself caught up. Okay, I just finished season 3 of Stranger Things. All right, Kendall, you asked for it. Here it is, my immediate reaction. So it is Thursday and I am about to go teach dance. I teach dance on Thursdays for a couple of hours. So it's about a 30-minute drive to get there. So I need to leave soon, but I wanted to give you all an update. So last night, around 9 p.m. or so, I finished The Dancing Girls and I was pleasantly surprised by the ending. It didn't end like a typical detective thriller would. And I liked that about it. Had a little bit of an open-ended, a little bit of ambiguous ending, and you know I adore those. So I think I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. I was pleasantly surprised by a lot of things in this book. So this is definitely a hidden gem because I've never heard anybody talk about this book before. And when I asked on Instagram if anybody had heard of this book or read it, I only had 1 response. And then the other night on Reading Sprints, somebody else said that this was good. So I have 2 people, but that's it. So if you like serial killers, if you like detective thrillers without too much of the typical detective thriller in it, I think you might enjoy this one. And so I think I said yesterday that I was planning to read Daisy Darker for the psychological thriller prompt, but then last night for Jeopardy, I got a thriller prompt, and what I have to read for Jeopardy needs to have a woman on the cover. So I was like, well, let's just find a psychological thriller and we'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I had a NetGalley arc of The Prisoner by B.A. Paris. This was on my list of I just kicked my tripod. This was on my list of anticipated releases for this year. If you saw that video, I'll link it. Basically, this girl, Emily, has been kidnapped and she and her husband are both being held for ransom by her husband's father, who's very wealthy. And so you have the present timeline and then you have the past timeline of how she met her husband and how they got married and everything. I love B.A. Paris, but I haven't been wowed by any B.A. Paris books other than Behind Closed Doors. So about 25% in, it's okay, but I'm hoping it picks up. So hopefully I can get some reading in tonight on my way to and from dance, and I get like a 20-minute break or so in between some of my classes, so maybe I'll get to listen to some of it then too. Okay, so I think I am going to wrap up this vlog here so that I can edit it and get it out for you guys. I think I'm going to end my Upside Down Readathon here because I am at the beach. We got here and we're here with my family, my parents, my brother, his family, my boyfriend, and then one of my nephews actually drove a couple of hours to spend the weekend with us as well. So I think I'm just going to finish my Upside Down Readathon here so that I can just take a couple of days to kind of unplug, be with my family, and get ready for the Losers Club Readathon, which I will also be vlogging. But I think I've had a pretty successful Upside Down Readathon. I did 3 of the photo prompts and I did a couple of the book prompts. So let's kind of recap all of my reading for this week. So the first thing I read for this readathon was The Dancing Girls, and I gave that one 4 stars, and that met the prompt of lights on the cover, and it also had a game or competition element, so 2 of the prompts down. And then I read Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, and I gave that 3 stars, and that met the prompt of multiple POVs, so there is a 3rd prompt. And then today I finished The Prisoner by B.A. Paris, and that met the prompt for a psychological thriller. So we got 4 of the prompts out of the way, and I read 3 books, which is 1 more than I thought I would read. So like I said, The Prisoner, I'm gonna give 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I really like B.A. Paris's writing, and I think that the stories are always unique. But this one was just kind of an average kidnapping story. And I felt like it was all wrapped up a little bit too quickly, and it all made a little bit too much sense. I felt like there was too many characters. There was way too many people to keep track of. And I also was left confused by the ending. Like, it was hard to tell if B.A. Paris was trying to make it open-ended or if it was being left open for a sequel to be written. I couldn't tell. I feel like it would be good for somebody who is new to the thriller genre, but I also think it would be good for somebody who just really likes that kidnapping trope. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. So I think it's been a pretty successful readathon. I have never done any photo prompts with a readathon. So thanks so much for spending the week with me. It's been so fun, and be looking forward to my reading vlog for the next readathon that I'm doing this month. But I'm glad that I get a little bit of a break before then. Let me know in the comments down below if you participated in this readathon and if you enjoyed the books that you read. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.